Can you make bonsai from herbs? Well, sure you can. Let's see how we can do that. First off, you want to think about your plant. Now, bonsai is a style of, it's beyond gardening, let's be honest. It's an artistry, and you need a plant that is going to thrive in this type of confined and controlled environment. So one of the herbs that's going to do really well in that environment is rosemary. Now, rosemary is one of my happy herbs because just lightly feeling it and smelling that, oh, that aroma, that is awesome. And so I'm really excited about turning this little rosemary cutting into a beautiful bonsai plant. So some other herbs that may work really well for bonsai are thyme, lemon verbena, sweet bay laurel, lavender, sage, French tarragon, scented geranium, and oregano. One of the benefits of using an herb plant for bonsai is that each time you do a trim or a cutting to help sculpt your plant, you can use those for culinary purposes. You want to start off right by taking everything into consideration about what plant you're going to use, what environment you're going to create for it, and where that plant is going to live. So I have decided that I'm going to turn a small portion of our living room into a little mini bonsai sanctuary. And so we have these bookshelves that flank either side of our TV. I know, very exciting, right? But they are the perfect shape for these containers. And that's why I selected these containers. And I thought that they were attractive as well as having a nice, simple, and clean design. Now, these are intended for bonsai, and they have really nice draining on the bottom of their container, and they fit nicely in this lid. There's a little ledge created in the tray in the bottom to help separate so that it's not flush. So that way your bonsai plant will drain really nicely, but you can also have a water reservoir. I also took in consideration my lighting needs. Now, because I'm going to put this in a bookcase kind of scenario, there's really not going to be any direct light that's going to help nourish my plant. So I went artificial route and I got these really handy dandy little LED lighting strips. And I will show you later how I plan to install those in my cabinet. So if you have a different location in mind for your particular bonsai plant, you want to make sure that your plant receives at least 6 to 8 direct sunlight hours. And this can be easily accessed by a well-lit window or even a patio kind of situation. I can't really tell you. You have to observe your environment and find out what criteria works best for you and your plant. So now that we've selected our container, we selected our plant, and we know how we're going to create the right lighting environment for us, the next thing to focus on is soil. Now, I have purchased this pre-mixed soil mixture, and one of the interesting things about working with bonsai is that you're really not utilizing the soil so much for its nutrients, but more as a substrate of support. You want to focus on something that's going to drain really well. So lots of times they will do a combination of perlite and vermiculite and peat. So you have different properties of something that's going to help drain away any excess moisture, but also have different elements that's going to retain moisture so that you can keep a nice, evenly moist environment for your plant. So I'm going to go ahead and fill my container with this soil. One of the perks about this particular maker of soil is that they put it in a zip top bag. It's little things in life that really make my day. So I'm appreciative of that because I don't have to fiddle around trying to figure out what I'm going to do with a half-used bag of soil. So yay them! So now that I have my container mostly full, but not entirely full, I'm going to lightly spread it around, and then I'm going to take my mister and start saturating my soil. What I want to do is I want to make sure that it is evenly moist. I have my bonsai kit over here, and it has a little spade, and these miniature tools make me really happy because they're just so fun and cute looking, but they're also going to help you be delicate with your procedure. And for misting, I'm just going to go ahead and mist the surface layer, and then I'm going to give it a stir and continue mixing. You can also do the soak method with this, but you want to be really careful that you don't wash away a lot of this soil mixture, because there's a lot of really loose peat fragments in here, and I would be concerned that if you did the soak, you might end up losing a lot of that down the drain. So this is kind of time consuming, but for me, working with bonsai is a time consuming process, and that's part of the joy of it. It becomes sort of this meditative experience. It's beyond gardening. I know I'm sounding metaphysical, but that's kind of the intent. So I've mixed and misted and mixed and misted, and I'm mixing again, and I can already see that it's coming together. It's creating little clumps. The moisture is getting evenly distributed, and it kind of looks like brownie mix. I know that might sound funny, but that's what the texture is reminding me, and I want to have an even moisture, so just keep misting and mixing. All right, so I'm pretty happy with my moisture content of my soil now, and I'm gonna go ahead and unpot my rosemary. Now, I grew this rosemary from a cutting from my mother plant. My mother plant is really large, far too large to take that to use as my bonsai source. So I knew I was going to do this video, so I wanted to create a cutting. And I like this cutting the best because you can see it's already starting to create some character and movement in the plant growth. It kind of goes up to one side and then does this drastic turn. So I can work with that structure that's already inherent in the plant and really exaggerate it and help it go forward in that direction. All right, so before I was ready to do this video, I made sure to let my rosemary dry out slightly. I didn't want to have all the dirt compacted around its roots, and as you see, when I unpotted it, it fell away quite nicely. This is a helpful tip for whenever you decide you want to repot or restructure your bonsai plants, is that if you allow the dirt to fall away from your roots more easily by letting them dry out ever so slightly, then you can really work with that. If you want to, perhaps, if they had a really good root development already grown, you can incorporate like a piece of rock or stone and help encourage the plant to grow over that, so that it might look like this ancient tree that's growing on a rock outcropping. I've always found those particular bonsai styles to be really pretty, and they exaggerate the environment, the plant versus the environment, or the plant working in harmony with the environment, depending on what your point of view is. For now, because I have this drastic growth in this direction, I made sure to plant my plant to this side, so that way I would have room for it to continue over in that direction. It looks like I need a little bit more soil, so let me go ahead and get that. All right, so as you recall, I didn't fill my pot all the way at the beginning, and that's because I wanted to make sure I had room to arrange and play with it a little bit. And so I've gone ahead and topped off my soil level. And because I pre-moistened the under level, I don't have to disturb my plant, and I can just thoroughly moisten the top level. So as I said before, I selected rosemary for this particular bonsai, and I also selected a plastic pot because I wanted something that I knew wasn't going to leak onto my furniture, as I intended on keeping this inside. Rosemary also works really well in terracotta, so if you're in a situation where you have perhaps a glazed saucer, so you don't have to worry about the pot so much, you can use terracotta. And the reason being is that rosemary typically likes to be a little bit on the dry side. So the terracotta is going to let that excess moisture evaporate. So because I'm using a plastic pot, I'm going to make sure that I keep a good eye on my plant and make sure that I don't overwater. Another reason why I selected rosemary is that it really doesn't require much fertilization, so I don't have to be overly concerned with the nutrient needs. That said, I can fertilize once a year during the beginning of the growing season. So now that I have my plant potted, I have to decide what I'm going to do with this to create the bonsai effect. And I've decided I'm going to do a combination between pruning and wiring. Now, as you can see, my plant is still pretty young, and any part of the stem is going to be flexible enough for me to wire. But because I already got that good shape going, I may leave that be, or I may simply just slightly encourage it to be a little bit more exaggerated. Once any part of my stems become larger than a pencil in diameter, they are too thick for me to try to force with wiring. So make sure to start young and leave those thicker stems alone and just create your structure out from there. All right, so let's get to pruning. I think I'm going to just try to remove some of this excess green and start seeing about where I want to have the trunk looking structure versus the branch looking structure. So this base part, I kind of want to be bare. So I'm just gonna snip away these little herb pieces here and set them to the side because that's rosemary, so I can totally cook with that. Again, the joy of herbal bonsai. And this is really just a personal preference type of thing about where to trim. There is no right or wrong answer, so don't get overly fixated on what you should or shouldn't be doing. This is more of a lesson in patience and nurturing. All right, so at this point, I kind of got this base going on, and I've decided that I really do like that shape, but I want to push it just a little bit further. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some wire. I'm going to take this thicker gauge wire for the base because I think I need to be a little more aggressive and have something sturdy that's going to really help support it to do what I want it to do. I also have tweezers with this kit so I can help pull and push and prod to make sure it's going where I want it to. All right, so I'm going to stick the end of my wire down into the soil and then lightly wrap around the plant. I want to make sure that I'm holding it in place because I just planted this, so it's not really taken root yet. So there we go. We have our wire structure now. So my intent is to push this shape, this curve that was already there, and really try to push it back more. Kind of got it going there. And then I want it to come back down and then out. Kind of liking how that's looking. I really think I need to be patient and see where it goes from here and then continue to work. I also have some more trimming that I need to do because it's looking a little bushy for my needs right now. But this gives you a good idea of where to start, how to select your container, how to select your plant, how to figure out how you're going to light it, and remember, have a mister. I hope you found this enjoyable, and I hope you too experience the joy of creating these neat little creations in bonsai. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.